Alright, now I'm going to show you how to color grade using my Vlog X Technicolor LUT. First things first is applying the LUT to your footage. Next, we're going to create two nodes by pressing Alternate S twice. Next, select the second node and reduce your saturation down to 0. Now we're going to adjust the highlights and shadows. Now I'll go over this briefly, but normally you want to make sure it's on this right here and on the first dot, and we're going to place a dot somewhere in the middle. And then we simply move it and adjust it until the overall scene is even. Now with the second node, we're only really going to be adjusting the midtones, which is this dot right here. It adjusts the midtones. And then the shadows, which is this right here. This top one adjusts the highlights, which we're not going to adjust on this node. Now that this looks pretty even, we're going to go to the third node and adjust the highlights. Once again, create a dot right here in the center, and now we're going to move this to the left. As you can see, all the bright areas are now being brightened even more. Now, one thing that's great is, since this is like a log profile, this is the original footage. Now, if you notice, in the background, the detail is lost. But if we go back to the very first node and we reduce the highlights on this, all the detail comes back. Now this is all starting to look very good. Now that we have everything done with the black and white, we click back on the second node and we increase the saturation up to 50%. Now we can see the color coming back into the video. Now, if you want more color, you click on the third node. We're going to click on this third dot here, which is the hue versus saturation, and simply raise this up until you're satisfied. Now, if you have any reds in your highlights, usually that means you need to adjust your highlights some more to reduce the red. So as you can see here on the second node, if I bring this down, it takes out some of that red and makes the overall scene even. If it's still not bright enough, you can click on the third node, hit Alternate S one more time. We're going to make sure we're on your curves adjustment, that's what this is, and we're going to simply drag your highlights over to the left. And as you can see, it brightens up the scene and starts to look great. Now also, the same thing, if you want more color, you can click on the third dot right here, the hue versus saturation, and you can also raise it up a little more. And there you have it. That is how you're going to color grade the base LUT that's included in this pack. Thanks for watching.